Back with Geraldo Rivera. So Geraldo, hi, great to have you. So you exited 2 weeks ago from Fox?
Is it? Has it been that long?
I think so. It was it July 4th?
Seems like just yesterday.
Was that your last day, July 4th?
June 30th.
Okay, so maybe a little
pretty
bit more.
close. Pretty close.
How are you feeling?
I feel liberated. I feel free at last.
And why? Why did you feel hamstrung there, or
Well,
muzzled?
you are muzzled. Corporate discipline muzzles people, even if self-muzzlement, if that's a word. I felt, first of all, they denied me permission to go on many shows over the course of my long career there. They have a very rigid, very controlled.
But what were they afraid of?
Discipline.
I mean, what were they afraid of?
My
that you would
flamboyance and saying things like I said about former President Trump. That he knifed the Constitution in the back. When you have that as your attitude, that's your position, and you're in a conservative milieu. It's pretty noxious to folks who believe a certain way. I mean, it's not my belief. I am nominally a Republican person, but I'm pro-choice, pro-immigration reform, pro-gun control. I hope to devote a lot of my post-career life to working with the developmentally disabled. I have lots of charity work that we do. We're dating back, half a century to my exposés. So, there's a lot of things going on, but it's a very rigid, very controlled atmosphere where everyone answers to management, and management doesn't allow freewheeling. They have a message. They send the talent out to do an interview. If it's a big story in the New York Times or this or that, they pick their spot, and they're very strategic in that regard, very disciplined. Conservatives are much more disciplined than liberals. Liberals are all over the place. Like I can say anything you want.
Feel free. In fact, yes, but basically, what I have heard is that you started to feel that they didn't have your back. They didn't have your back again. They sided with the people who are not fact-based at Fox, or sort of more of the outrage machine. Is that fair?
I don't make judgment calls like that about other people's careers and where they put themselves. There's just some people there that I liked and some people there I didn't like. And some of the people I didn't like, a handful of them, there's only a handful, they had more sway than I did. I was, the black sheep of the family. And when I stepped out of line, I was suspended 3 times on the 5 in several months.
What did you do that was so bad?
Well, for instance, complaining about Tucker Carlson when he had the outlandish theory that January 6th was staged, and it was government operatives, and it was the whole thing was a theatrical performance. It was total bullshit, and I said it in those words. It was published, and I got suspended right there. That when I said of one of the cast members that he was insulting punk, I was suspended again. What about the provocation that led up to it? I don't want to complain about it. Fox, I took their money for 23 years. They were, they did everything that they had to do in terms of the business relationship. I went to Fox because of 9/11. I went to Fox because a lot of people that I knew got killed on 9/11. I wanted to be a war correspondent. Roger Ailes, our former boss, said I could be a war correspondent.
I remember the day you started. I remember how excited Roger was, and he said, I hired Geraldo Rivera because when Geraldo's on screen, I stop what I'm doing and I turn up the volume. I'll never forget that Roger said that. And it's true. I mean, obviously, you are a compelling reporter. And so that's why I'm asking you this, because I think it says something larger about Fox. And here's my question. Did the $787 million penalty that they had to pay to Dominion, will that change how they do business? Will that change their relationship with facts?
Well, I think that the $787,000 is a big I'm sorry. They really understood that what they did was really so far off the norm that they had to apologize in a way that only corporations apologize with money.
So will they do something different? Will they handle facts differently now?
First of all, I don't necessarily accept the premise because I think there's a lot of good reporters at Fox.
I do too,
and you were one of them.
Thank you. But and there are certainly reporters there, but there are also people who play loose and fast with the facts.
I just think that the embarrassment from what happened on their January 6th, post-January 6th coverage, the embarrassment that they suffered as a corporation will and already has affected the way they present it. Yes, that they're still heavily opinionated. in the evenings. That is true. But I think that they would never, I would hope, now say something just to get an audience. I don't think it's that raw, their ambition anymore, now that they've been, really scolded in a way that corporations, they have stockholder lawsuits. They have, the Smartmatic, and whoever, and the other guy that was wandering around on January 6th that they said was the ringleader.
Yeah. And how do you think they'll cover Donald Trump this time around? Do you think that they?
That's the problem, and that's the litmus test.
I mean, at times they seem to have soured on him, but it seems like maybe that time is over.
Well, they're Republicans generally. The Republicans in power, we're watching it as people flock to Trump's banner now, are ruthlessly pragmatic. All they care about is beating Joe Biden. All establishment Republicans care about, all Republicans generally care about, is making sure that a liberal Democrat, a taxing liberal Democrat, is not in the White House, come November of 24. I think the penalty, the scolding that they got from the public really woke them up. And I hope that they go forward. The conservatives deserve their own scene, their own network. It's fine. They just have to be more, as you say, fact-based. They have to be more professional. They have to be less partisan. But who knows? We'll see.
Robert, great to have you
here.
Oh,
Allison, I love
this. Great to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, next, the investigation into the Gilgo Beach serial killer is now